Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion. Quite fun.
Hey everyone, Hybrid here, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series, Grogu, as he appears in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Just take a moment. Appreciate the tiny Black Series box. I am a fan of these. They have done these before the line. We got the Season 1 The Child in a miniature Black Series box back in the red and black box days. And then they followed it up with the Porgs. We got a 2-pack of Porgs in a mini Black Series box as well. And they're just oh so cute. And I love the tiny box aesthetic. I don't know if it's scratching the same itch in the brain that something like a mini brand would, but I just like seeing Black Series but littler, right? So here we have Grogu as he appears for the second half, pretty much, of the movie. The first half of the movie, he's wearing his armor plate under his robes, as he does from when he gets it from Season 3 of The Mandalorian onwards. And the second half of the movie, Grogu has been called to action. He needs to step up and help Mando out, and you see him take a lot of lessons that he's learned in Mando's tutelage and put them to good work. And so here we have him. Now the movie's out. They didn't quite get it out just in time for the movie, but I think that's all right. He comes with accessories that are not spoilery for the movie, although I will talk about them. So if you still haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to sit here and give you like mega context, but I'm going to talk about where he got the fish. I'm going to talk about where he got the stick, you know? So if you're someone that can have absolutely 0% any type of spoiler, you might want to skip this one for now. But I'm not going to, like, super spoil the entire thing over. I'm just going to be like, he got that fish when he was doing that thing. So, anyway, let's dive in. Here's Grogu in the packaging. We'll take a quick look at that before diving full-blown into the review. As I mentioned, this is a Black Series box, but littler. It's maybe like 4.5, 5 inches tall and 4 wide. It has everything going on that a standard Black Series box would have, just smaller. Grogu's got a little bit of a background behind him and as many accessories in there in that purpley blue, the Mandalorian and Grogu coloring that all the other figures from this line had. You have a tiny Black Series logo. Above that tiny window, a tiny Grogu, a tiny Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu, warning 4+ Hasbro, a tiny artwork of Grogu on the side looking majestic, my guy. Grogu, Black Series logo, hanger tab, wraparound window, wraparound stripe, Disney. That's the Target shipping sticker. Gosh, that was a whole fiasco getting this from Target. And then a little barcode and more legal stuff down below. So no art on the back, no bio about the character in 5 different languages. Pause to read whichever best applies to you. But it generally gets the gist of a Black Series box scaled way down. Let's open them up. Here's Grogu out of the packaging, surrounded by his accessories, and I gotta say, I do appreciate Hasbro giving us some accessories of this guy. He's got a couple cool scenes in the movie, and these do help you recreate some of them. So, you know, this figure, again, in that mini box, he retails for $9.99, which is a great price. You know, not a whole lot going in the box. Ultimately, you're buying it for like the quality of the sculpt and the quality of the decoing going on, and you definitely have a lot of good work here. Grogu definitely feels like an accessory. Sometimes it's nice when they, like, you know, put him in the build-up packs with Mando, and while I do appreciate those, and, you know, sometimes you just don't want to buy another Mando, and that's kind of the case here. We all have a couple of Grogus at this point, I'm sure, but this is the first time we've gotten a Grogu that's a different look. You know, the fact that he's like actually wearing his armor on the outside, he's got his bag, he just, you know, has some stuff going on here, more so than most of the other figures. So in my opinion, I think of all the Grogus, this is probably the most essential of them. This is the Mandalorian and Grogu look for Grogu. So I'm excited by that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some accessories. He comes with the sleeve of blue cookies. We see these a couple of times throughout the film, and I believe we've had this packed in with prior Grogu figures before. It's got this kind of like rib sculpted up the outside. It's kind of meant for you to be able to help him like grab them, but he doesn't have a lot of grip strength going on, so this accessory, truthfully, does not work very well. It's ultimately, it's not the accessory that I'm gonna like, that I would be putting him on the shelf with anyway, so I'm not too bothered by that. The other two accessories are a little bit more exciting. So as I mentioned, there would be some potential spoiler talk here, so, I'm not going to give you a lot of context for the scene, but, when they're stuck on Nal Hutta for a while there, and Grogu steals the fisherman's fish, to eat. I love this accessory. It's got some nice paint, it's got some nice sculpt work going on, and I like that it's got some bites taken out of it, the way that you see it in the movie. And the base of the fish down by, the tail is just thick enough that you get it in his hand, and he will hold on to that, which is very nice to see. It's semi-secure. His hands will never hold anything in a secure way. See, he will drop anything. But for the purposes of putting him on the shelf, holding it, he can do that. The other accessory I like is his little walking stick from when he's hanging out in the swamps there. It's this very twisty, curly stick, and he picks it up, helps him get around some of the swamps while he's doing his little thing there for that little section of the movie. And in the movie, he carries it in his left hand, so let's put that out. If you put it in his hand, he will hold it. Again, not super secure. It took a couple of knocks to get it out of his hand. That's not been the case every time I've been messing with this figure for a few minutes before the review. But, come on. That right there is the look for the shelf, that's how he's going to go on my Mando and Grogu shelf. But other than that, we're going to pick him up. Part of me wishes maybe we got some different faces, some different expressions, but also at this scale, how expressive can he be? Bringing him up, gosh, I hate my hands. I'm sorry. I work a construction type job, and my hands are always stained up from chemicals and stuff, so I'm sorry. They're so ugly. But looking at Grogu, just getting him up, he's got a pretty good expression, pretty good neutral face going on there. I like that they got a little bit of that pink going on in his ears, the black beady eyes, the Beskar plate on his chest is light reflective. I like his little bag he's got going on. The little hair on the back of his head is just painted on nice. He's got that water flask on the back of his bag. Very, very nice. And then the bag and armor is technically removable. It's an overlay. But if you look, it leaves a groove. It falls. It has a place where it's supposed to be. And if you take it off, you would. It's like all the Chewbacca figures. If you take that bandolier off, you can, but it looks bad. So he has some articulation. I guess we'll run through that. Why not? He's an action figure. He's got that ball joint going on in the head. You can turn the head. You can get him a little bit of pivot in there. That collar is kind of choking the life out of him, so it's only going to do so much. The arms can rotate 360 and hinge up and down. There's no butterfly joints. Interestingly, they did go, see if you raise it like that, you can see there is actually a hinge in there. Prior Grogu's had always had a ball jointed shoulder. I think I like those more, truthfully, but this isn't bad. But when you get them up doing anything, you see in the armpit that hinge, and prior ones didn't have that. So I don't know. The hands are on little ball joints in there, very, very delicate. And then the feet are also on little ball joints, but they don't really mean anything, because no matter what you do, he's just going to stand there. But all the same, he looks very good. He's very cute. I feel like you fairly well get $10 of value here. I don't know. Maybe not quite $10 of value, but gosh, what could they have charged? I think $10 is a good round number. So, yeah, I think he turned out rather nice. I like him. Here's Grogu with the entire Mandalorian and Grogu Black Series collection so far. We, of course, have more figures coming, but they're not out yet. And I gotta say, he scales well. He scales right. And this looks right. I gotta say, I've temporarily misplaced the Grogu that came with the Deluxe Mando. I would have compared them otherwise. Or that Grogu was permanently posed to be hanging on to Mando's jetpack, as he does for a lot of the first act of the movie. And so I, unfortunately, I know roughly where it is. It's in a box of figure accessories I have off to the side, but I'm just not digging through it for this review. Point is, Grogu is little. Grogu scales nicely, and I like how he looks with the other figures. At the end of the day, what do I think of this new Black Series Grogu? Gosh, it's adorable. I love it. He looks just the part of how he looked in the movie. I love the little accessories. I think $10 is the perfect price point. I really got to say, it's the perfect little accessory pack. And, I mean, how would you get this look for Grogu in the movie unless they sold us another Mando and did a build-up pack, right? I accept him being in the little box. I think the little box is cute. I think the little box needs to come back in the line more often. I like them. it's a good look. I think it looks good, and I'd like to see more of these like smaller scale $10 figures, whether it be one a year, two a year, just to give you a little accessory pack type thing. I'm all for it. And this figure is excellent. He adds a lot of aura to the Mandalorian and Grogu shelf. It's a look that I've wanted since he got that chest plate back in Mando Season 3. And it's just really nice seeing him all kitted up here. This is like Grogu, he's learned some stuff from Mando. He's ready to go be his own man, as Rada says. So, anyway, I love this figure. A very, very, very good looking figure, and one that I think will add to your Mandalorian shelf very nicely. So, highly recommend. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. You know the drill. Consider becoming a hybrid superfan. $1 a month gets your name in the end credits of every video, and that's just a little extra way to say thank you. If that is something that you care to do, it is never assumed, never required, but it's just always something that makes me feel special, I guess. So plug it every now and then. Go watch something else. I'm going to go work on something else. I'll see you next time. May the Force be with you, and have a great day. Bye.